Anyways, we're back talking some more Titan Season 3 on the channel, Episode 10. We only have a handful of episodes left for Season 3, so that is kind of bittersweet. We are back on track with the main storyline this week, though, after we had that detour last week involving Rachel and Donna Troy. Gotham's water supply is very much tainted with the hallucinogenic chemicals that Crane wanted to be put in there, and we're talking mass hysteria in Gotham right now. Thousands upon thousands of people are going around Gotham causing all different types of crimes to the point where they actually have to lock down Gotham. They bring in the National Guard, and no one can go in or out of Gotham. There's certainly some interesting decisions on both sides of the coin in this episode between the heroes and the villains. With everything that's transpired, it's unfortunate that Crane has already gotten the city of Gotham to turn on the Titans after they just finally started to like them not that long ago. Literally a few episodes back, we just got the Titans logo up in the sky, and now they want them dead. Even when the Titans go and try to take out the unruly people that ingested the chemicals in the water, the bystanders heckle them and want them to leave, no matter what they're doing, even if they are trying to help them out. Now that Crane pretty much sit back and watch everything unfold in this episode because their plan is going so well, much to kind of Jason's confliction. As expected, he's not really a big fan of Gotham going to hell since he is from here. One of the episode's more interesting elements when it comes to their story is how Jonathan Crane sets up this sort of political ad campaign that props up Red Hood as the next Gotham hero, but also frames the Titans for everything that's transpired, offering this huge reward to try and take them out. I just really don't know how to feel about this development because, of course, there are a lot of people that are influenced by the hallucinogenic drugs that are put in the water supply, so maybe that's why they feel this way towards the Titans. But I really feel like the people in Gotham kind of just turned way too fast on them because you gotta think, they've been dealing with Batman in this city for decades probably by now. You would just assume they'd have a better grasp on who's actually a true villain behind the scenes and who's an actual hero character. But like I said, it could be the hallucinogenic drugs, it could be they feel that Batman turned their back on them because he kind of did, but I mean, they are taking the place for the heroes right now, the Titans team in Gotham, so you'd think that they would think they're the good guys. As I alluded to a bit ago, we do still kind of tote the line between good and evil with Jason Todd in this episode in the confliction on what he wants to do, be a good guy or a bad guy. With that conflict there as he's arguing with Crane over what's happening in Gotham, and Crane questions if he's all in or not as Red Hood, which is an interesting thing because he did basically tell him many episodes back that he's expendable in his plan, as we saw Lady Vic, who still just disappeared in the show, by the way. I feel like that's weird that she just went away. It's just a shame to see Jason Todd so easily influenced by Jonathan Crane even to this point in the series. It's very much up and down throughout every episode. We have this nice conversation with him and Molly. They dream about leaving Gotham together, and then he drops in with some bribe money for the Gotham City Police Department as Red Hood, and he tells him to say his name, very much in the same vein as Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. That's what I thought of when he said that line. Oddly, there's no follow-up to the final moments of last week's episode as we saw Bruce Wayne and Donna talk to each other as Bruce was trying to kill himself in that castle. That's a scene I definitely feel like needed a follow-up to, just to get some type of explanation for what was going on. But we start off with Donna going back to Gotham still. She gets out of a taxi and has to walk the rest of the way, and she gets ambushed by Lydia from Themyscira in the last episode. She's very weary when it comes to Donna's revival, so she has to test her and see if she's fully ready before going back to Gotham. Look, I'm really happy that Donna Troy is back in Titans. I think that she's a great character, and I'm glad that they rectified her horrible death last season, but this whole entire subplot that she has just feels like a big time waster in the episode. The actual action itself in the scenes between Lydia and Donna is exciting, arrows flying around, a whole lot of sword play. Pretty fun, badass stuff all around. The points that Lydia tries to make to Donna really don't amount to much because they are just very brief fight scenes. It's pretty much like, you just kicked my ass these 2 times we had these battles, so you're free to go to Gotham. That seems like basically what they were going for here. Thankfully, and I guess unfortunately at the same time, Donna makes it to Gotham, but only at the very tail end of the episode, so we still have to wait a whole nother week to see her interact with the Titans team as a whole. One thing I've greatly appreciated about Donna in these past 2 episodes is her self-aware humor as we see one of the people try to tase Donna, and she's just like, I've been there, done that. So that's a great nod to the stupid death that she had season 2, and we're gonna finally move forward from that. Hopefully no more electricity takes out Donna Troy for the rest of this series' whole history. After a lot of pressure, it seems like the Titans' plan to try and get the city back on their side and gain their trust back is to turn themselves into the police, which I really don't think inevitably is the best idea, but I guess it's worth a shot. Especially as we saw early on in the episode that Red Hood bought off the Gotham City Police Department, so they're not too fond of the Titans, even more so. They have a lot of interest in not liking the Titans. As a massive Titans vs. Cops fight breaks out, which had some really great highs with the action from the team. One of the better things about the action sequences in Season 3 is every character gets some sort of badass action moment in the scenes. This time around, we even get to see Gar turn into a tiger very briefly before he gets shot and runs away. Thinking more on Gar because I really didn't know where else to put this in the video, but we do see him earlier on in the episode looking at Bruce Wayne's notes and seeing stuff about the Lazarus Pit and reading it all about it. Not really sure where that's going to lead. Maybe it'll lead into what we find out at the end of the episode when we see who he meets up with later. I think that they're trying to piece together something interesting for Gar to do in the next couple episodes. Back to more of that Titans vs. Police fight because it gets even more intense. You see Barbara shoot one of the dirty cops before he can do more damage. But Blackfire being shot during all this is the big shocker to me as we see Connor get really upset, of course, and he just goes absolutely insane in that police station as everyone in the team is separated separated. I suppose it's a double shocker involving Blackfire as we see Corey go and try to actually heal Blackfire, and she ends up stealing her powers in the process. Like, what the hell is going on here? At least didn't feel intentional that Blackfire stole Corey's powers, but it is Blackfire, of course, so you really never really know what her true intentions are. But I'm very upset that Corey lost her powers because Corey is one of my favorite characters in the show, and if they're gonna have her go around with no powers, it's gonna make me very disappointed. After all that stuff in the police station, I mean, we're at maximum shit has hit the fan here. Everyone on the team is separated. Connor and Dick are together. Barbara's actually getting arrested for what she did. Gar, though, wakes up, and we do see that Rachel finally shows up in Gotham to talk to Gar, so that's gonna be great. I think that she's going to be a big help for everything that's going on in the city of Gotham right now with the chemicals and Jonathan Crane and Red Hood. And since the Titans are all on the run now, they can't go back to Wayne Manor anymore. You see Jonathan Crane and Red Hood have kind of taken Wayne Manor for themselves and christened it Crane Manor. And we end off the episode with Jason Todd stabbing the hell out of Bruce Wayne's family portrait. So kind of an odd way to end off the episode, but I don't know. I mean, things have really just gone too crazy at the very end of this episode. I really am not sure where this is going to lead, but I think that's one of the fun things about this show is it's kind of unpredictable, even if it is sometimes kind of in a messy way unpredictable. I suppose one of the more big things to be hyped about with these last few episodes is the fact that the majority of the Titans are actually here now. You have Donna Troy finally here, Rachel's finally here. The only one that's missing that's alive is Dove. I guess she's still off in France. I believe that's where she was last time we checked. But even still, I think we're going to have a really exciting final last couple episodes of Season 3 of Titans. Now you've heard my thoughts on the episode. Make sure you share your thoughts down below about the episode. Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Share all your thoughts and theories of what you think is going to come next in the series, because part of the fun is having that conversation with you guys down below in the comment section. I do read and respond to all your comments, so make sure you share all of them down below because I just love that stuff. Thank you as always for sharing my reviews. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe button. We'll keep your reviews, reactions, and boxes and more on the channel. But next time, I'll see you guys later.